Friday. Do you know where your IG pros are? It's Patch and Switch. And now two guys who put the source in source code problems. Here they are, Patch and Switch. You know, this is going to be fun. Because I have no idea if I'm even here or if I have a co-host.
You sound good.
There's other people. There are people. There are other people.
Wow.
We'll see.
Let's see. Oh, look. Oh, hey. Hey. H-Jit in the house.
So the first trick is, can you hear them? Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
Does the audio work? Is it working? Is it a good level?
Hello.
So, you know, if only we got together 45 minutes before the show started to make sure that everything worked.
Tech checks, right?
Hey, we had to have breakfast.
Yeah, we had to finish our breakfast first, nice and leisurely, and then make it in the studio. As you know, they've changed the combination lock on the door, so it's no longer 1, 2, 3, 4. It took me a while to figure out they changed it to 5, 6, 7. So we're good. We're in.
Okay.
Right. But then we have no support because, again, I just randomly decided to invite Harjeet here and not bother asking anyone if we could use the equipment. So at least we're not using the equipment. I brought my own set of mics and my own camera, and my own cables. I even have my own tripod. And as you can tell from the lovely lighting effects, I found a lamp that we could use from the green room that's given us some level of forward-facing light. But the one thing we could not check was the audio quality. So that's about as best as we can get right now.
I mean, listen, you could have just had breakfast 30 minutes earlier. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, actually, you couldn't because the cafeteria was closed. They now don't open the cafeteria till 8 o'clock. So
we had to get our breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
We're good.
Whatever.
We're good. And where are you? Like, that doesn't look like your regular spot.
I'm in a hotel.
You're in a hotel. You're traveling for personal stuff, and you decided to join us.
I am. We're in Anaheim.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a little Disney action as well. Tomorrow happens to be a major holiday in most of the world, actually, and I'm surprised that we don't actually have a day off either today or on Monday for said holiday.
Now it should be national for sure. I think they do it in Canada. I don't know if they do it in the States, but I think they do it in Canada.
No, they don't. No, because Obi-Wan Kenobi is not saying use the Force, I'm
going to move this to the center. There we go.
There.
Now Harjeet isn't a tried and true person working with media and technology, and so he wants to look at the camera down here as opposed to the camera up there, where you're supposed to have your eye contact.
Yeah, well, it's all right. It's all right.
Well, thank you for joining us on your vacation.
Am I the only one connecting from home?
Yeah, you're the only one from the real bunker that rotates to different locations for security purposes on a regular basis. You're the only one. So you have the known tried and true configuration that works, whereas we're just throwing caution to the wind and trying things out.
You're throwing something into the wind, my friend.
I actually think I smelled it the other morning, Joey. Remember I was telling you about that? I think I smelled it the other morning.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, we should say good morning to some folks because Vizio MVP, of course, first in chat again.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty sure he gets up at like 6 a.m. Some time zone to make sure that he's here. Ledwig says hello and aloha. That means hello and goodbye. Not sure if you know that. Jan is here and says hello. Also, let's see, we J Flow in the house. Apparently, he has ducks, a nest outside of ducks outside his window, and he has a dog, Cooper, who's a lab, and labs love ducks, so I'm sure Cooper is just super happy there.
Now, when you first said that, I just want to call out. I thought you were saying ducks, as in DUX, from AvePoint, and I'm like, why would ducks be outside of JFlow's window?
We had a whole conversation. See, listen, if you had actually shown up and gone into chat beforehand, you would have seen that I said hello from Anaheim. Jared said home of the Ducks. That then created this whole entire thing. There was a whole thing in chat. But you can't be bothered with that because I don't know breakfast sandwiches. A big hello to our good friend Rich Campbell, the Richard Campbell, who happens to be kind of a big deal. At least that's what he tells everyone.
Right.
Yeah, but he shows up, and we appreciate that. Hello to Cow_ski, aka Kowski. I'm not sure if that's really you or if somebody's an imposter. We're gonna need you to do an MFA prompt, please.
Yeah. In the authenticator app, please choose number 34.
Yes, please choose. Yes, because that's secure now. Hello to our very own Essex girl, the fairest of Brits in the house, Mr. Coozer in the house, that says, "I wonder what this would be like in the metaverse."
He's laughing.
You know, we could probably invite a mutual friend of ours, Tommy Lewis, Mr. Thomas Lewis, to join us at some point, and he could probably join us from the metaverse. He has a number of devices. I have
most
not
people
tried
don't need to see us in the real world, let alone a metaverse.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, but you know, he's one of the 150 people that bought one of the Vision Pros from Apple. As a developer to look at the experience and as a metaverse aficionado. So he would be able to give us commentary about that, what it would be like.
Our good friend Dave from Crush Network says, hello, friends from Walt Disney World. Hello from across the street from Disneyland. The better of the parks, let's just be honest.
Nice.
Hello to Chaos 13. Different than Chaos 14. Totally different person. Who else do we have joining us in chat? And any other Tommy Lewis. Oh, Rich Campbell says Tommy Lewis, the Ottermeister. What?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I once asked Tommy about whether or not he would ever adopt an otter. He's done the petting zoo experience and the feeding experience. But apparently, the otter eats the equivalent of, I want to say, 15 pounds of sushi-grade tuna every day.
No.
As far as their diet at the various different facilities. So, it'd be a little pricey to have an otter inside of your space.
Okay, so joining us live in person, but virtually for everybody, except for you, Rick.
He's right here.
He wears a fedora. No, it's not Perry the Platypus. It's Harjeet. How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
I'm good, man.
Who are you? Why are you here?
I asked the same thing.
I was wandering around Microsoft campus. Someone felt sorry. He said, "Hey, come on over."
Do you want to do a show? Come join us.
So I wouldn't have been able to join. I wouldn't have been able to join you, despite the fact that I don't live there anymore. But I don't wear a hat.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'd be allowed in the studio.
You might know Harjeet from he has his own show that he does that's actually paid for by the company.
Tackling Tech, aka.ms/Tackling Tech. Check it out.
Sponsored, not sponsored, but you're welcome to provide us funding for being on the show.
Oh, he totally has to pay now because
I know if our producer could put that URL up, that'd be an extra $1,000 if he does it. We'll see.
Hey, Harjeet, I'll send you the IO code to do the transfer. All right.
Okay.
Perfect. I didn't think we finally got ourselves hooked up to the Microsoft billing platform. I'm glad you finished that work item.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that was one of the first things.
But so Harjeet also with Tackling Tech, among other things, talks an awful lot about Windows commercial things. There we go. The $1,000 right there. Thank you. Just keep on bringing that up at least 5 more times randomly throughout the show. It's $1,000 URL, and then we'll send him a new invoice.
Should I do a full page ad on it every time?
The full page is 10,000. If you know what, if we work it out right, we might be able to get the sultry dulcet tones.
Just do a small sliver.
No. We're going to get the sultry dulcet tones of Rich Campbell to do a voiceover reading. That'd be $20,000 to be able to be part of that. So yeah, we'll just keep on racking up these bills and then send them his way because he's got budget. He's got budget he's got to spend. But you also might know him from the Windows world, as I mentioned, various conferences he's been at. I'm assuming you're going to MMSOA.
I'm going to MMS next week, actually.
Doing that one there for the what does MOA stand for? Do you know what the acronym stands for? You going to the conference?
Mall of America.
Mall of America.
Yeah.
There you go. So he's going to that. But then also previous Emma MVP. You remember that? Previous MVP from the days. And we used to know him as just this random MVP guy that would be taking pictures all the time.
That's true.
Right?
That's true, yeah.
Fun stuff. Yeah, so I asked Harjeet, hey, come on down. Let's have a chat. See what's in the world of Windows.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for good voiceover.
A little lagging. Sorry. The hotel Wi-Fi. Hotel Wi-Fi.
Okay. Can I do a public service announcement that I did my job
tomorrow
about something? Huh? The PSA
Sorry,
I want to say, and I
hold on. It sounded like you said you did your job.
I tweeted about this yesterday, and I posted it on Threads, among other things. 7 back episodes were finally produced and published to all the different streaming platforms and podcast platforms that we're on. And so if you have a moment, go off and take a look at some of the past episodes in case you want to relive the craziness that is a previous show. And you're also, if you're in the app for Apple Podcasts or Spotify, as 2 of the first ones that I found the links for, you could actually rate the show with like 5 stars, please. 5 stars. You have a question, sir?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Why were there 7 episodes that haven't been published?
I was negotiating a new terms of contract for calendar year 2024, because apparently our agreement expired. And so the first show published from the 7 was from January 5th. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, fair enough.
But I promise that I will be better at ensuring that the folks that work in production, because it's not our sound guy that does this, right? So if it was the sound guy, he would be on it, and it would be done, and it would be timely. It falls on other people, our other minions, to go through and to get these things published.
Wasn't Jared the sound guy?
Yeah, he's the producer of the show. We promoted a producer. Don't tell him we promoted a producer though.
No. It's just the audio guy, Steve. I did not agree to any promotion. Not at all. No.
Sounds like the story of my life.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, apparently our good friend Aspen Forster is in the house as well. Nice. Says Florida is all right. It's hot. There's no big lines. Tron was fun. I love Tron. Tron is an amazing ride. It's just too freaking short.
Too short.
Not long enough. It is so cool though.
Those cycles they take up a lot of energy, man. They got to recharge them in between runs.
Apparently so. So right now, Space Mountain in Disneyland has been transformed to Hyperspace Mountain.
Hyperspace?
Yes. So when you come around the corner after you board the car, you hear the amazing sounds of John Williams and his orchestra playing the Star Wars anthem, and that hits, and the entire world changes, and everybody starts screaming in the car. And as you go through, you hear everybody checking in. Red 5 standing by, Blue 3 standing by. As you go up, and then you launch through, and you're being chased by TIE fighters, and you see TIE fighters and X-Wings, and there's laser beams, and it's honestly, I am a Disney kind of purist person in terms of Disneyland, but I would not be offended if they just transitioned Space Mountain to Hyperspace Mountain the entire time.
All the time. Well, you might offend some purists, but I think I would tend to want to agree with what you're saying. I would support that.
That is just so unbelievable. Hey, we're 15 minutes in. Do you think we should start the show?
We should. And Harjeet was
The
asking
show's
me.
not started yet.
Yeah, no. This is the introduction piece. So this is where we have.
Harjeet, we have segments.
Yeah, we have
I see,
segments,
I see.
and I tried to get him. He didn't read the script I sent him last night that explains what we
not.
talk about and all the words and talking points that we have. And so he says, "Rick, I just wing it. I don't use a script." And I'm like,
Yo.
"Have you ever seen his show before?" "Yes, I can tell." He just wings it. But there's actually 5 segments to the show. The very first segment is called "From the Trenches." And it's what you've been doing for work for your day job related to IT. Then we each take a little bit of time, all 3 of us now,
Okay.
to be able to talk about it. If you want, you can go first, but if you prefer, we could have Joey go first as an example
Yeah.
of talking about what he does for his day job, because I'm interested to find out what he does for his day job.
Yeah, let him go first.
Yeah.
Read my.
Aren't you his
Connect.
boss? I'm just curious.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks. So in the last program, I talked about how I will be coming to Seattle in mid-May for the Microsoft Build Conference. We have been working. It's we, because listen, I should not be left alone when it comes to putting together a session on data security.
Nice.
But working with the legendary Sarah Young, along with my good pal Richard Diver, been putting together the data security session for developers, and it being back in session preparation is a lot of fun. Just watching, you just start throwing all the things in there. I think at some point the slide deck had 68 plus slides of just, here's some ideas that we're thinking about. We've created some slides with stick figures and blocks, basically, and sent it to the designers to help us.
Some
get it.
placeholders.
Yeah, exactly. Just some placeholders. So yesterday, prior to departure from Las Vegas, we did one last pass on the slides, and so it appears that we're probably about 22 slides. And then the next step that we're working on is demos. So we're basically kind of going through all the things that, so it's data considerations for AI development. Data security considerations for AI development is the session. So I've just been spending a ton of time putting together slides and talk tracks and having a cool, it's been a long time since I've done session prep like this. And normally I've been spending a lot of time reviewing other sessions.
Right.
It's just fun to be back in the weeds and building a new session. And I'm absolutely terrified that I have to present this thing in 2 weeks, but it is what it is.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
No, I'm excited. I'm
You've got a
excited
very
about
good
it.
support network that's helping you build it. So
I have a lot of very smart people helping. So I'm super excited for that. So that is, I wish I could say I did something more exciting, but it has literally just been session prep, and then reviewing sessions as well. There's Mike Rasonovich. Something. Yeah,
It's Mike. We know Mike. He's tall. He's got black hair.
Yeah, his hair's not as good as mine. And by the way, I am taller than he is.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, true. It's true. I do not believe what he says. He will be delivering. So he's going to be doing an inside AI security session at Build, which is a session that, so we had an AI security, generative AI kind of intro security session that Sarah Young had put together. And then Mark had put out his post a couple of weeks ago on Crescendo, which is a jailbreak where you can use AI. Basically, you keep prompting it, asking it different questions, and eventually it'll give you an answer. So like how you can, I don't know, I think the example uses in the thing is a Molotov cocktail. But you just keep asking it. Eventually you can jailbreak it you can get away from the responsible AI guardrails and have it give you the data. So the Crescendo article is super cool. So he's going to do kind of combination of that with Sarah's generative AI session, securing AI stuff. And so in the way that only Mark Russinovich can do, which is the inside AI. So yeah, I think they're putting him in the keynote room. So
Oh, yeah.
apparently he's popular. I think I'm going to be in a storage
I don't know why
closet.
Mike would do that, but
Yeah. I will be in a
handsome.
storage closet with seats for 4 people to come to my data security session. So there you go.
love it. Love it. So that's a prime example of what he's doing at
Wow,
work.
that was a lot.
And I know from our one-on-ones we've had this past week, he's definitely putting a lot of energy and effort into the session development. I'm going to make sure I see both of those sessions because they sound very interesting at Build, because I'll also be at Build in the coming weeks as well. I managed to fandangle myself a code to register, which is always a hard thing to do.
Yes.
So what have you been working on? So obviously, we've got Harjeet, and your Twitter handle or X handle, no, that's Twitter, is
At Hoorge, Hoorge.
Hoorge. Is the H silent? Hoorge?
Hoorge.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What have you been doing, man?
So the reason why that Twitter handle happened was someone I used to work with back in Montreal could not pronounce my name. So he just kept calling me Hoorge. Hoorgy baby.
How do you mispronounce HJIT?
Yeah,
I know.
HJIT, I know.
It's so easy. So anyways, I see a lot of good friends here.
Look up there. Not down
Look
here.
up there.
Look up
right?
there. Look up there.
So a lot of good friends here. Hello, everybody. And, I started my journey into Microsoft as a customer engineer, and then now I'm a marketing guy.
He's got budget.
So I focus on, I'm in Windows commercial.
Security, please remove the marketing person from the room, please.
So what I do these days is that I do a lot of evangelism work, IT pro marketing. I'm a MVP, PG lead for Windows MVPs. So I go to events.
PG stands for?
Product group.
Yeah, so he's the product group lead for connecting back and engaging with most valuable professionals,
Yes.
MVPs. We're just
Right.
going to get rid of TLAs and FLAs here.
I forget we have a lot of
Yeah.
actors. Yes. So I'm now in charge of managing Windows MVPs and evaluating them and things like that. So that's an interesting change into my additional roles. And I've been traveling a lot, so which is also fun because I go to events, I do sessions, so I support the events in a way. Speak to IT pros, get feedback, bring feedback back internally, things like that. So I'll also be at Build, so I'll see both of you.
Nice.
And I'll be at the experts meetup, focusing on Copilot.
So in build speak, that is the hub in the experts area, to use the proper terminology. And because he's going to see us at Build, Joey, that means he's going to be asking you to use your long arms to be able to do a selfie
Yes.
with all
True.
of us.
True. What
Can I-
Copilot? I have a
Yes.
question. What Copilot? Because you said Copilot. There's a lot of Copilots. What Copilot are you going to talk about?
One of the
One of the many, many co-pilots.
yeah.
He doesn't know yet. He can't talk about it apparently.
I can't talk about it.
Very nice. Very, very
It's
nice.
the Fedora Copilot. The Fedora being the hat, not the.
See, I'm curious, like people that end up working with me in some capacity end up gravitating to have hats. And so I
Yes.
noticed originally he didn't have a hat and then he moved to it.
Yes. Yes.
But the same thing happened with our friend Thomas Maurer. I don't know if you've noticed that. There you go. There's a hat. So Thomas Maurer now also wears a hat whenever he does videos now. He's like a driving cap that he has. So I do have to say I'm a haberdashery wizard, I do believe.
So this is a true story. I was in Paris a couple of weeks ago for another event.
I was just dropping places and travel, just left and right.
No. Speaking of
Well,
the
what's
hat,
it like to have travel budget?
Yeah, what's it like to have travel budget, buddy?
Oh, you guys are
Don't
very
even
cool.
start, you two. Don't even.
Anyways, I had a couple of IT pros or attendees, right? They came up to me and they said, "Hey, are you Harjit?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Are you the real Harjit?" I'm like, "Yeah." My name tag says.
Yeah.
And they said, no, it can't be you. I said, why? Because you're not wearing your hat. You have to wear a hat. That's your signature look. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So again,
It does resonate with
I'm a
people.
trendsetter, and people like having the same hat appear. The trick becomes, do you have multiples of the same hat?
I have multiple.
So you have hot spares.
Mhm.
There you go.
I do.
See, learning from me as well with my hot spares. For my From the Trenches story, I've been doing some internal work on our subscriptions, and I've been just simply tidying stuff up. That's all. So I've been going through and figuring out stuff. The current thing I'm working on right now was making sure that the services that we use, even to support the studio here, are secure for how they're configured. And so I've been working with the team that's responsible for Azure File Sync to figure out how to enable and ensure that the agent that's on the server, Windows Server box that's running, configure to talk to Azure File Shares or Azure File Shares and the Azure File Sync service to determine when to move files off of the local server and then move them up into Azure and then stream them down if they are needed again, or just leave them up there and offload the space requirements locally for those things. And so the studio here uses those as a way of being able to make sure they have endless storage capacity. So I've been working and configuring with those and playing with those and playing with some pre-release stuff that I can't talk about yet with Azure File Sync to get our subscriptions in order. So that's been taking up a good chunk of my time. Besides the thing that I think, Jen Gentleman on the interwebs. She's a very avid supporter and PM person working in the Windows engineering team. Someone cursed her online recently because of the picture that came up on the Bing image for your laptop. It was like a beautiful picture of a flower and a spring bee that was there. And the little pop-up tip that was just beneath the center of the flower with the line of text that's up there, it actually said, "It's springtime, getting ready for our performance reviews." I couldn't believe it. I'm hoping that was from the internal engineering version of Bing as opposed to the external one. But apparently it might have been the external one that mentioned that. So they were convinced that Jen was the person that somehow prompted that to happen. I thought that was just hilarious. So I've also been doing performance review stuff for the last week and change.
I did not. I failed to mention a big hello to GoTPFE, who is screaming Flynn lives in chat, and also a number of other Tron related lines.
Nice.
So need to say there. Did we say hello to? I'll also need to say hello to Absablog and Lutely if I haven't already. That's just my.
Okay. Nice. Thank you for staying up on that.
I just have to stay up with chat because that's the only way I can stay awake at this point.
Nice.
What are you doing for data? Like, so you talked about data and moving the data. Is the data streams, are they encrypted? Are you encrypting on both ends? Have you looked into that? What are you doing?
This is your traditional Azure or Windows file server file share, accessed by clients here locally. And then up in the storage accounts, you are able to go in and to set it to be encrypted at rest if you wanted to.
Yep.
You can flip that bit on, but the agent actually talks using a SAS token that's been issued to it that rotates. But the SAS token rotates every 8 hours, I do believe, is the default. And so it has a secure endpoint connection into the storage account, and the storage account is not available externally at all. So it's by default a pretty secure solution for how it works. They're just looking to amp it up one extra level because people are now moving towards managed identities as a new option. And so they're looking at how to figure out enabling that as an option as far as your agents are concerned.
You have an alarm on your phone that's set for every 7 hours and 58 minutes, so you can go in and rotate that token, right?
Log into the portal and press the little refresh button on every single one of the storage accounts. Yeah, that'd be good. I think that's what they call in the SRE world toil work. They just keeps you busy all the time. I'm sure I'm probably sending off alarm bells with Jared. And actually, no, he's not on call this week, so he's good. He doesn't have to worry about it.
He's good.
That's much. Yeah. So it's been not bad. Now, the second segment of the show, this is again me explaining this to Harjeet here. Second segment is known as Beer Money.
Oh, yes.
And then, so Beer Money is where we do tech support for our friends' family, our family ourselves, our cousin twice removed, and their dogs and cats as well.
So gadgets that you buy?
No,
Can I
that's
ask-
later. That's
Can
don't
I ask
jump ahead.
a question? Just
Yeah.
curious.
Go ahead.
Archie, have you ever seen this show?
Yes, yes.
So
At
why
least
is
one.
Rick having to explain to you how this show is run? Have you paid attention to the show?
I forgot.
He's not a regular bi-weekly listener, apparently.
I used to be, but
Yeah. So
He used to be until it took 7 weeks to get past episodes up on the podcast.
Yeah.
yeah,
They dropped
exactly, right?
Right. So I don't know. Maybe we might just like break into like Windows IT Pro Twitter account and start live streaming this to that account without his knowledge.
Hey,
That'd be a good
hey.
call. That's a good call. That's a good call.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about making that improvement there. Do you want to sign in to Twitter on my phone for just a moment, if you could?
Have you? Hey, can I just ask you to sign into this for me? Have you? Do you have any beer money? Do you have any beer money stories? Have you done any support?
For your friends or family, your wife, your
Yeah,
Anybody you're talking to on the airplane when you say you work
Yeah.
at Microsoft? Go.
Yeah.
Hey, my computer's having these problems.
Oh, my daughter, actually, the one that goes to school in Montreal. So
Oh, yeah?
she has issues every now and then. And so I just remoting, I use Quick Assist. It's already built into Windows.
right.
Connect in and help her out. And there she goes.
Easy.
Easy.
What was the last one you helped her out with? What was the issue?
Something to do with,
A printer?
it was an office, it was a Word document that was like all gibberish and she couldn't get the
Oh yeah.
formatting right and stuff. And
Not bad. So Word tech support. Nice.
Quick Assist.
Word tech support. And I have a similar beer money story, but not quite as elaborate as that. Where you're talking about Quick Assist of his Windows machine. TeamViewer,
Oh, yeah.
lovely TeamViewer. It's very handy. I support my father, who is 84 years old.
Oh,
And he has a Mac, and so we need to find a common platform to use. So we use
Right.
TeamViewer to be able to do it, and I can go off and help him with his Mac Mini that he has inside of his apartment. But I'm away working remotely last week, and I'm like, okay, I need to go off and help him out, but I only have my corporate machine here. I don't have my personal machine here. It's like, oh, I'll just go and I'll download TeamViewer and I'll go off and use it. Apparently, TeamViewer is a restricted program
yes.
for security reasons at Microsoft, and you cannot install it on Microsoft hardware. It makes total sense. I work for a technology company, and they have restrictions and rules for what we can put on our systems. And so, I wasn't able to help. Wasn't able to help my dad over the last week. So I had to wait for tech support to happen
Yeah, so-
this week when I was back in my regular office where I have my personal PC I can flip over to do TeamViewer stuff.
Yeah, in case people don't know, right? We have restrictions like there's certain application, even Signal, we can't install.
Yeah.
We can use like WhatsApp and things like that in the browser, but Signal doesn't exist in the browser. So
Yeah.
that's just,
How about yourself, Joey? Tech support, team support for you?
I have to say that I have. I believe I've officially re-earned my IT Pro card. For the next
I
year.
didn't know it expired, and you need to have a renewal this year.
Yeah, we had a renewal. So, I built the new house in Vegas, and when we moved in, you know how it goes when you move into a new place, that you just you got to get the internet, the infrastructure in, and you may or may not necessarily be doing everything, as clean as it should be, right? Properly organized. So in the situation of this place, I had the builder drop an extra, 9-10 feet of cabling so that I could properly set the rack that runs the house. So I run, a Ubiquiti system with lots of switches and stuff because you can, right? I mean, who just needs like a single router in the house? No, you need everything.
Those days are gone. Those days are gone.
So for the past 9-10 months, I've just kind of had it in a little bit of disarray. Cables kind of running everywhere. Just get stuff plugged in, get it running. And one of the things that I was challenged with is that I wanted to run the cables back up through the wall, and then come out, up by the shelf where the rack is.
Mm-hmm.
But once you cut a hole in the wall, they have a wife acceptance factor, right? Of
course.
what you can have. So I'm like, what should I use to cover the hole? And so I was roaming around with our good buddy Chuck in one of the home improvement stores, and we're looking and we're like, well, we could put a wall plate up, and they have those wall plates with like the brushes, right? So that it looks nice and everything. And we were walking down the aisle, and there is one of these big tool carts, right? Like a handyman tool cart that you'd pull out and you can do things on. And on the side of it is this big rubber grommet, and for the cabling, because this workshop cart like has power built into it and everything. It has the extension cord, and I'm like, that's what we need. We need a grommet. That's exactly what we need. Do they have grommets that you can just put in the wall? They have grommets that you can put in the wall. Yes, 100%. You can get it. Well, guess where I got it? Amazon, where everybody buys everything.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So I set it up next day delivery.
Tool you can always find on Amazon.
That's exactly right. So there's a and listen, public service announcement for my IT pro friends that you can get it. This is 2.5 inches in diameter, and it's got spring loaded pieces on the side. So you just kind of pinch it in, put it in the hole, and then it just snaps and it grabs a hold of the drywall, very similar to like how you would put a junction box in, right?
Yeah.
Screwed. And then it's just a grommet. So we ran all the cabling back up through the wall and in through the grommet. And then I went nuts, got the labeler out and labeled each of the cables. And then
label the grommets.
Did you label the grommet?
Yeah, it says grommet.
No, okay, perfect.
Yep, 100%. Yep, it says grommet.
Inspected by HS.
Approval. No, that's a sign. That's a DocuSign. We did that. Yeah. She approved it through a DocuSign. Ma'am, the work is done. Can I please have you approve this through DocuSign? I went nuts with zip ties.
Nice.
I also have, for some reason, they cabled the entire house also with coax. For cable TV, and I don't use that because we're streaming everything. So bundled all of that up into a couple of nice real bundles and zip tied that to the inside of what do you call that? Like, it's not a panel, but they cut out the piece of the wall and they put in the metal kind of framing box.
Yeah, the box.
Run into.
Like in your bathroom.
Yeah.
Kind of, but it's designed for like cables. It's where all the cables go and everything. So I zip tied it all because they've got places where you can run zip ties and attach everything. So I was, and then proper cable management to the back of the patch panel, and then nice little 6-inch cables from the patch panel up to the proper ports. Everything. The ports are not labeled, but the numbers correspond with how I numbered each of the wires.
Nice.
So yeah. I'm feeling rather IT pro-y lately.
So the question is, did you properly? I know you properly labeled stuff, but did you take pictures along the way to document the changes and then
100%.
submit your change control?
Change control.
Because you have to provide evidence when you go for the reapplication of renewing of your IT Pro.
Yep, 100%. 100%. The change control, the change window was the internet's going to be down. You need to go work at Starbucks.
Yeah. Well, I've got some pending beer money similar to that starting on Monday because my alternate power supply for the house is being installed. So I'll be without power for multiple portions throughout the week next week as they install the solar panels on the house. So my change control window is only open for so long. I'm actually going to think if I could go and crash at the RV, the mobile studios with Jared next week to work while we don't have any internet connectivity. I haven't asked him that yet, so I don't know.
I was going to say, did you want me to bring the Jayhawk over and park it in front of your house?
No. They need the driveway and the space around the house to be able to put all the panels, unpack them, and work with them. So I have to move my cars. I have to park them someplace else.
But there's that access down to that community water pit thing.
Oh yeah,
right below your house. You can park your Jayhawk there.
Removing the parking pylon from what do they call them? What does the UK call those things? Bolster? Is that what it is?
Balusters.
Yeah, the blocks cars from going through streets and stuff like that. Fair Brit must know this. Like, it's the whole community of people that like collect pictures of these things. I think they're called bolsters or ballisters or bollards. Bollards. Yeah, I have to see if the HOA will go off and move those. It was funny because I now all of a sudden have a porta potty out front of my house. Apparently, it's part of the permitting requirements that the work has to have a porta potty delivered. And so I managed to find a space that was still on my property at the front that they could put the porta potty on. So now I have a porta potty.
Let's hope it doesn't tip.
Hopefully it doesn't tip. It is on a little bit of an angle. We'll see if it's all there. This is also your PSA reminder if you haven't already done so. I've noticed that GoGoDaddy 360 has gone ahead and submitted words for the next episode of the show. So if you haven't done this yet, because it's your first time, you're welcome to.
It's my first time.
Go ahead and just do exclamation mark or bang word and then put in the word for the show. This week's show is called Screaming Monkey YakShaving Thingy. Very, very descriptive about how this show has kind of gone on.
Chat wins. Chat wins from last week's show title. Right?
Absolutely. And I will say we got a shout out, a good friend of Rich Campbell's and also a good friend of ours, Mr. Joey, Paul Thurrott. Let me drop that name there for you. Paul Thurrott commented on Threads. Thank you, picking that up again. Commented on Threads. He says, 2 of my favorite people, one crazy show.
That's
very cool.
Go watch it. So I don't know if we have 1 or maybe 2 people that have never been here before. They've probably left by now.
Which one of the 7?
No. There's at least 12 people on the show right now.
No. Which one of the 7 episodes?
Oh no. This was like literally about me announcing that we're going to be going on the stream. So the algorithm that's on Threads shows your content up there randomly. It's not sequential or timeline oriented. It just randomly shows it up. Sort of like Instagram. Like you post something on Instagram and then it shows up in your feed, your friends' feeds in like random 77 and a half hours after you posted it. Or 2 minutes after you posted it. Like there's no rhyme or reason for how it works. Who knows?
I just had a urgent Sev 1 beer money support request just hit. Yeah, apparently the internet is down at the Vegas bunker.
Can you attach up to your Ubiquity device remotely to see?
I cannot. So I do believe that we have an issue with the ISP. So
an actual ISP issue.
Yes.
Because the power's still working.
Yeah. So can we turn it off and turn it back on again, Cox? Communication.
Yeah.
Hello? Question mark. GoGoGadget360 commented, and it's not GoGoDaddy. It's GoGoGadget360. Just calling you out, buddy, because you can only read the name.
Says, it is so small.
Yeah.
Says, quote, I went nuts and got the labeler out. That's not nuts. That's just science. You're not wrong.
True.
You're not wrong. But for
Very
me,
true.
That is going crazy if I actually did the actual labeling and such. But it is kind of cool. So that's my beer money support other than the current Sev 1 outage that is happening, which is the internet down? Is the question that came.
I'm hoping that the solar combined with the battery pack will prevent such items because then I could have, I probably could. I want to be able to say I could like cycle the power on the smart switch that controls the cable modem. Or the fiber box.
See, here's the problem, though. You need to have connectivity to actually do that.
But the Ubiquity switch has the ability to have an alternate internet connectivity option, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you could borrow Jared's hotspot and have it running only as backup. And then only when the primary internet is down would it flip to using that other one as an option. So
I'm guessing that everything will probably be resolved by the time that Jared gets there, because he's going to have to unhook the RV and everything.
Yeah,
true.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Thanks
So
for
how much power can your solar give you? Like for how long?
Is this like a poking joke? Because I'm not in Las Vegas where it's sunny 99% of the time, and I'm inside of cloudy
Pretty
Washington
much,
all the
yeah.
time.
Rain all the time.
Rain all the time and trees and stuff like that. So according to the spec that they've done, if I had full sunshine all the time, the system is spec'd at 14 kilowatts.
Okay.
But they believe the average I'm going to be able to pull off of that is around 10 to 11 kilowatts. So
How many days is that?
that's just for the power capacity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the battery pack that charges, and you run your house off the battery pack when the power is off.
Right.
See, I didn't know this. You actually have to disconnect the power in yourself from the grid when the grid is down, because you can't be feeding power into the grid because you'll shock somebody.
Oh.
So they have to have some kind of a disconnect, and it makes total sense now that someone's explained that to me. Hence the reason why I am not doing the install. We're using a Powerwall from Tesla, which does an automatic monitoring and switch and failover and stuff like that. That has been spec'd out for the initial first level of being able to handle 13,000 kilowatts, or sorry, 1,300 kilowatts,
1,300.
or 13 kilowatt. I don't know. It's some number. It's just what's a few thousand
1.21
kilowatts among friends, right? So either way, they estimate that I should be able to run the house as required for at least 24 hours or more.
Oh.
And if I wanted to, I could just plug in battery pack number 2, battery pack number 3 to get more power if I wanted to. Starting small, going up from there.
At least your steaks will be frozen. So
The steaks will still be frozen. The food will be preserved.
yeah.
I don't think I want to charge my truck off of that battery pack because
No.
it'd probably suck all the power out of the battery pack. But we'll see. We'll see how it runs.
They say there's no known issues.
Yeah, Cox. So you're on this tech support site for Cox?
Yeah.
They always
say
say
no
that.
known issues.
Yeah. Can you
We
report an
don't
issue?
currently see any outages or issues related to your account.
Yeah.
No,
You got-
my account is fine.
Yeah.
Your account is fine.
I'm assuming that there's no you've given the instruction to basically reboot the networking stack and the modem and stuff like that.
Look,
Yeah.
spinny wheel. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Join us
All
next
right,
week
that's
with live tech support of internet connectivity.
Hey, listen, this is real. This is
true.
real. This is 100% real. The sub one issue coming in right as I'm in a hotel and I can't do anything about it.
That's rough.
Anyway, should we go to the next segment of the show?
Beer talk, it would be.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Beer
it looks
talk.
like there are no service issues in your area.
He's still.
That's probably because it thinks your service area is California.
That's probably.
This is great. Okay, I'm gonna have to. No. It'll do. Okay, fine.
So while he's doing the tech support, do you? I don't even know. Do you even drink beer at all?
Yes,
You do still?
I love IPAs.
So what would be the most recent beer that you've had that's been interesting for you? Anything exotic in Paris? Because it's such
No.
a well-known beer drinking place,
I wasn't crazy about it. Okay. Nah. I'm not into the pilsners and
No.
the light beers.
Well, when I was last in Paris, which was years ago, I found this phenomenal little microbrewery that was just off of one of the canals, and it was amazing beer. I have to go now look at the pictures to be
I
able
think
to
I
find
know
that.
which one you're talking
It
about.
was really, really nice, very nice little small brewery, microbrewery that was there. So, like, name of beers you've had recently that you like. Putting you on the spot. This is how it works.
So I'm in Vermont, right?
Yes.
So Vermont is like one of the
Maple syrup beer,
no.
because you have that inferior maple syrup.
No,
Compared to Canada.
We have good maple
It's
syrup.
just not as good as Canada.
I know.
Not as good as Canada's.
Quebec is pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
No, but we're like I think one of the beer capitals of the world too, for microbreweries.
For Vermont?
Per capita,
Okay.
right?
Per capita, I'll
So
give you that.
lots of them out there. So I just love IPAs.
Yeah.
And, I love the hazies and stuff like that, right? And so I just hit like on weekends, especially on Saturdays, I'll go out with my wife and say, hey, we got some errands to run. Come on over. And she said, all right. So now where are we going? Because she knows I'm going to
Yeah, you got to go someplace to a brewery.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I can't really pull out names of it because the different ones, they keep changing.
So microbreweries, random unknown names.
Denial IPA. This one is called Denial IPA from First Republic in Vermont.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. For me recently, last week, for the very first time, I went and visited Fargo Brewing Company. Very original name in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh.
And I picked up one of their variety packs because we were tailgating. And so I needed to have some cans of beer. And in the variety pack, they had my good old fashioned, always love it, Jared would approve, a good Scotch ale was inside the variety pack, as well as a nice simple little lager, as well as a nice American IPA. So they were quite good for North Dakota, eh? It's good. And for the tailgating, I made a chili.
Oh,
because it was freaking cold in North Dakota. I want to say it was about maybe 5 degrees centigrade. So that's 40 something in freedom units, I think. So it was pretty cold. So I was using my Jeep, which I gave to my daughter, with a power inverter to be able to power my crock pot to be able to keep the chili warm. And I thought the chili was going to be a slow pickup, and it's not exactly what you'd expect to have at a tailgate. It was gone before the game started.
Oh,
and there was a double batch of chili. It was easily over 9 quarts of chili gone, disappeared. So
how many people?
I want to say probably about 30 or so.
Oh, wow.
30 or so, all the parents and friends and family and stuff. So Fargo Brewing Company, good patch of beer, variety of choices, and I cannot confirm or deny that I might have snuck 1 or 2 inside the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Wait, that's a problem there?
Mr. Snow, how about you? Anything recent like for you?
They sell them at UNLV's ballpark.
Well, they don't when it's this cold. Let me just say.
Okay.
I can see in the summertime.
I had an adventure last weekend, a Sunday Fun Day adventure, where I explored several local Las Vegas craft breweries. We went to Huddle Brewing. Had everything there was. It was nothing bad, but nothing really stood out. We went to Nevada Brew Works, which had this amazing vanilla barrel aged stout that was just something else. And then they also had a really good rye IPA.
Okay.
So a rye IPA.
Little bit more heat in that one there, as opposed to the barley. The rye brings the heat.
Yep. Absolutely. Then went and visited my new favorite, which is now my home base, which is Abel Baker Brewing. And these are all within a block and a half of each other. So you can pretty much walk just down Main Street in downtown Las Vegas.
That's so cool.
Downtown is not the strip. Downtown is downtown, actually, the downtown part of Las Vegas. Boy, Abel Baker, they just, everything. I don't think I had a bad beer. My favorite is one that they sell, it's pretty easy to find throughout the Las Vegas area, which is the Atomic Duck IPA, which is a West Coast IPA. Not hazy, but it has kind of hazy type notes, like with the Citra and the Mosaic. And then my favorite beer of the entire adventure is Las Vegas Brewing, which is actually located reasonably close to where I live. And run by two, the brewmasters there, I believe, are 2 women. They're outstanding brewmasters. They did a collaboration with Haas Brewing, which is another Nevada brewery. I do not believe they're Las Vegas based. But it was just a normal pale ale. So, low octane, but still with the good hop notes, and some good malt notes as well. So good that I actually brought home 2 crowlers of said beer, and they didn't even last till the next day. So I had a number of good beers. Yeah.
$10.
We spent more on beer talk today than we have in weeks.
I know it's been refreshing. I think refreshing.
I was just going to let you know, Joey, the Haas Brewing is actually from Phoenix.
Oh,
And
Phoenix. Okay.
the brewmaster there's actually a friend of Mr. Arts.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so there you go. Something I didn't know.
Connected.
On Hogarth.
And
So
Haas Brewing is the one. Remember the coffee Kolsch? They make the coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Kolsch.
yes.
Nice.
Yes, you are correct, sir. All right,
Look at
we've
that.
got 5 minutes left. We still have to name the show, and we have to go through random spending very quickly. What have you random spent on?
Oh boy.
Technology purchase recently. Anything?
Yeah. You
Go
guys
quick.
go first.
What?
Yes, you
What?
go first.
Okay, Joey, you go first. I got to think.
Oh boy.
I don't know what he's
So
doing.
you know what tomorrow is, right?
It's
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you day.
Yeah, it's national holiday.
Right.
My wife's birthday. Oh wait, but it's also Star Wars Day.
Oh, okay.
Listen, Let me. Can I show you this? I have to show you
Yeah.
this. Okay, this is the coolest thing. So it's like a Letterman jacket, but look.
Oh.
Oh
Nice.
wait. Hang on. I've
Did
gotta
you buy
show
that
the
for
sleeves.
yourself or did you buy that for your wife?
Look, the sleeves.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not ready for this.
No.
This is the back.
Oh my Lord.
It's all embroidered.
It's
is all
embroidered.
Yes.
And you got that for your wife?
No. I got that for me.
That is hilarious.
How cool is that? Is that not one of the
Pretty cool.
coolest
I'll give
jackets
you-
that
I'll
you've
give you
ever
that.
seen?
It's very cool.
Well, I know what I
Yes,
got. A DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's a little.
Oh,
Those are pretty.
the gimbal HD device and the 3 actually allows you to do those fancy portrait videos
Yes.
now. Because are you doing the TikToks and doing the YouTube shorts? Yeah, we haven't branched into that yet. We don't know how to do those yet. So
That's really cool.
Patch and Switch TikToks is coming.
That's coming.
It's coming. Dux has promised that he would teach us some dance moves to be able to do a duet with. Is that what they call them? Duets?
Yes. The duet.
So
yes.
there you go. We'll see if we can do those. Perfect. I feel ashamed. I don't have anything to say that I spent money on because I was traveling last week and that kind of took the discretionary spending out from my budget. So I rented a camera lens. That's about the coolest thing I could say that I did recently for purchasing stuff.
Crockpot?
Oh yes, I did buy a crock pot when I was there. So technically random spent. The best place, I went to Goodwill to buy a crock pot.
Good.
I spent $20 on a crock pot. That's even better than the one I have at my house right now. And so I gave that crock pot to the girls, the softball team, for their apartment because they're going into an apartment next year. And that was all from a $20 Goodwill
That's
crock
awesome.
pot. So that would be about it. So now it's the naming segment of the show. And that is
because
where
I'm not sure if you know this, but as we've been doing the show, people have been using the ! word command in chat and submitting words. And you can actually go to patchandswitch.showbot.tv to vote on the words. We have Hat Factor Authentication, we have Bullard, we have Hyperspace Mountain, we have Grommets, we have Zip Ties, Meta Switch, Meta Patch, Steve,
nice.
Labeler, Duck RV, Ducks, Breakfast Sandwiches, MFA Prompt, Metaverse, Hats, Voiceover PSA, 5-star, Too Short, Synthetic
I've
Jet,
never seen this many words submitted before.
Wow. That's a lot.
Hat Factor Authenticity, Hat 2FA, Fedorable.
Yeah.
Oh, Exchange SME, you're getting banned for that one.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Federation, what is wrong with you? I'm kidding.
Federation.
Puerto Rico,
Love that.
Hyperspace, you Bigley, Better
Yeah.
Maple, Letterman, Crockpot. And so folks have been voting. I think we have to go with Grommet, Zip Ties, Hat Factor Authentication.
So yeah, in case you don't know, you can vote for these, but really it's just Joey that picks the 3 words.
No, I totally take into
He does
account
take the votes into consideration. He does.
Right.
100%.
What?
He does.
Hat Factor Authentication.
Hat Factor Authentication.
Hat factor authentication.
Yeah, that had 4 votes to it, so it's good. So yeah, at least we have 4, 3, and 2. That works.
So
Boom.
I mean, I
Grommet,
can't. Grommet. Yeah, we need Grommet.
Got it.
Fedora Nation. Federation.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Rich Campbell says it's a dictatorship, but a benevolent one.
Yes.
Oh man.
You're not wrong.
Absolutely.
You're
The
not
evil
wrong.
empire.
There we go.
You,
all-
you're not wrong.
Hey man,
Hey.
thank you so much for coming out to join the
Yeah,
show.
it was awesome.
Appreciate it.
I'm
As you
sorry.
can
What
see,
was your
it's
name
very high
again?
tech.
HJIT.
HJIT.
HJIT. Okay, thanks. Okay, cool. And you do what again? Sorry.
He's a
Just-in-time
Windows salesman.
administration authentication.
I do Azure.
Yeah.
Can you even spell Azure? Harjit?
No.
Just asking.
Nice.
And with that, we've come to the close. Another Punch and Switch program. Big thank you to Harjit for joining in studio. I appreciate it. It's good to see you, my friend, even though I'm not in person and everything else. We want to say a big thank you to those who joined in chat. Of course, the one and only Vizio MVP. First in the room, a good friend, Mr. J Flow Cooper, of course, who's keeping the stream online.
Nice.
Good friend Rich Campbell. Join him on his podcast, both .NET Rocks, and of course, Run As Radio. He has the best voice in podcasting. I'm
He
sorry.
does this little thing, Windows Weekly, once in a while too. I think now.
We don't talk about them. I told you that.
I'm sorry.
We got to say big thank you to Aspen Forrester, to Dave from Crush Networks, and all the M365 conference people that are running around Disney World. Go Team PFE, good to see you as well. Who else? Ludwig. We've got to say thank you to the fairest of Brits, to Jan, to Kowski, we got Ludwig, Absablog and Lutely, and Aspen Forrester, and everybody else who joined us. We are back in a fortnight's time. However, I will be absent from the program because I have build activities that are going on all day on the Friday leading up to the event.
You're busy on Friday? I was going to say we could do a live show.
It's I have to do I'm doing the build live broadcast, so I have other things that need to happen. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're being
you're too
usurped by
important now.
more important things, I
You're
guess.
too important now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not the one who said I should prioritize it. Read my Connect.
You must have a good
That's it.
budget to do that, huh?
That's it for
Speaking of
another
budget, can you
Patch
please
and
bring up
Switch
that URL
program.
again for the $1,000, please, Jared? You get a moment just before we end the show. One more. You still
Until then,
there?
have a weekend, everybody.
Wow, this is killing me. Those are-
SD.
Still
If you-
checking the equipment.
So is the network up yet? I'm
So-
waiting for the network to come up in Las Vegas before we can really get anything done.
So Windows
There's no
key
service issues.
W.
Mhm.
Windows key W. It works. Like it. That's what you have to do with Windows.
Windows key W?
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh, dear.
Like-
You were an MVP, dude.
Well, look, just press it, and this is what happens.